Hey, what the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why were you hanging out around one of our important clients?
Oh, Kelly, I have to say, I didn't expect to run into you.
I know, right? The last time I saw you was at high school graduation about 10 years ago. Who knew that I would bump into you again like that?
Yep, I was definitely surprised, to say the least. I really thought that I'd seen the last of you. But I guess the world is funny like that. I would have never thought to run into you at my husband's company, of all places.
Wait, what? Your husband's company? What are you talking about?
Well, I actually got married last year, and the man I got married to owns the company you saw me at. He told me that he had forgotten some important documents at home, so I was just dropping them off. I guess that his secretary was sick and called out, so he didn't have anyone else he could ask.
No. Oh, this can't be right. You have got to be lying. I mean, are you actually telling me that you're married to a company president? And not just any company president, but the president of one of our most valuable partners? How in the world did someone like you manage that?
First of all, I would like to remind you that I am also a representative of this company as well.
So then you really help out your husband with all of his business?
I mean, I do when he asks it of me, but normally I stay at home and take care of our family. So there aren't actually many days when I'm really going into the office. I actually just happened to be in there at the same time that you happened to show up.
I see. Well, you certainly have changed, haven't you? You aren't that little crybaby that wouldn't stop yelling after she found out I stole her boyfriend from her. Instead, you're an uppity snob who thinks they're better than me because of who their husband is.
Do you really think I've changed that much since back then? Of course, I do remember how much it hurt me when I found out what you had done. So, yes, perhaps I have grown up and matured from this just a little. And I guess I learned that there are a lot of fish in the sea, so it wasn't really worth crying over a guy who cheated on me anyways.
You really must think that the world revolves all around you now, huh? You really have changed. After all, I remember even after I did steal your boyfriend, you still had the guts to show your ugly face in school day after day after that. Oh man, I'm actually starting to crack up laughing just thinking about how it used to be back then.
That's fine. And if you think it's funny, you should laugh. After all, it's all behind us now. And I'm afraid that your petty bullying just isn't going to work on me anymore.
You really are such a bore now, do you know that? But you're right, the past is the past, and I need to be thinking about what to do next.
What to do next? What do you mean by that?
Well, I just wonder how you'd react if I stole your husband like I stole your boyfriend. That would just really crush you.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. I've made up my mind and I know what I have to do, so you can kiss your little marriage goodbye. I'm going to steal your husband and turn you back into that crying, scared little girl you were in high school. Then you'll be so crushed that you'll think twice about trying to get with a guy above your post.
I really can't believe that you're actually telling me all of this.
Oh, come on. Did you really think that you were going to get your happily ever after with this guy? That's just in movies. Besides, if anyone deserves that kind of life, it's me. You may have fallen in love with this guy by chance, but when it comes to stealing men away from their partners, no one is better than me. And then once I've made your husband mine, I'll be the wife of the company president.
Hey Iris, I just wanted to thank you again for your help today. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't brought in those documents.
Well, I'm just glad that I was able to be of some help to you today. It had been so long since the last time I was in there that I had forgotten how big the building was. I always get so nervous walking through those big entrance doors.
Well, you know that we're actually working on an expansion project right now, right? By the way, who was it you were talking to in the office today? Did you run into someone that you knew or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It was actually a girl I used to go to high school with. Apparently, she's working with a company that you partner with.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. What a coincidence. Sometimes the world is just a little too small, don't you think? It seemed like you guys had quite a bit to talk about. But anyways, I'd love to hear about your day. How about I take you out for dinner to say thanks for helping me out? I feel like it's been so long since you and I were able to go on a nice, quiet date by ourselves.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Zeke. And as for that woman, I'll be happy if I never see her again.
Wait, what? What's the matter with her?
Don't you remember? I had mentioned her to you before. She was the girl from high school who stole my boyfriend from me. I had really hoped that I would never have to deal with her again. Until today, that is.
You mean that was her? So what I thought was you having a friendly conversation was really...
That's right. I'd done my best to avoid her ever since we graduated. I wasn't expecting to run into her at all. But when I did, I guess that I just kind of froze up. Anyways, I ended up mentioning to her that you and I were married.
Oh, wow. I'm really sorry that happened then. And to think that you wouldn't have managed to avoid her if I hadn't asked for a favor of you.
You really don't need to blame yourself. After all, I'm not the person I was back then, and I'm so happy to be married to you. But I just think that you should be careful, okay? Because apparently Kelly decided to make you her next target.
Her next target? What does that mean? Why should I be careful?
Well, she threatened to try and steal you from me like she did with my boyfriend in school. I guess she wants to take my place as the wife of the company president.
What? Are you serious? What is this lady's deal?
That's what I'm saying. This is why I was trying to avoid her for this long. If she hasn't improved at all since high school, then I think it's fair to say that she's only gotten worse.
I mean, it's one thing to pull that kind of thing in high school, but we're all adults now. And she works for a company that we partner with? What is she thinking trying to get with a married man like me? That's just so stupid. I mean, does she not realize the effect that trying something like that could have on her career over there?
I don't really think that she is the kind of person to think before she speaks. But I also doubt that she would change her mind once she's announced that she's going to do something. That's why I'm telling you to be careful.
Right. Well, I guess I'll keep my eye out for her and try to stay away. Thank you so much for warning me about this. I really don't want to get suckered into any of this lady's scheme, so I'll be careful.
Just thought you should know that your husband is all mine now, so be a good girl and let me marry your company president husband. I already have the divorce paperwork drawn up, so let's not drag this out, okay?
What in the world are you talking about this time?
Oh, you'd find out soon enough, so I'm just telling you now. I have stolen your husband, and now he is obsessed with me. Of course, I'm not all that surprised that a man like him would see the value in being with a woman like me.
Literally, what in the world are you talking about, Kelly? I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Remember how I told you I was going to steal your husband? Well, I've gone and done it, and now we're going to get married and I'll be the wife of the company president.
Are you sure that you've gone and done it? Because I don't think you have. In fact, I know that my husband would never ever betray me like that, so please be serious with me.
If you don't want to believe me, then that's your fault. But it's the truth. Your husband is head over heels in love with me. And as proof, he even invited me out for a lovely dinner date last night. So what do you think about that?
You're telling me that my husband invited you out on a date?
That's right. I had tried sending him so many messages and emails, and he never got back to me at all. So I decided it would be best to talk to him face to face. I went into the building to go to his office, and we ended up riding in the same elevator by chance. I took that chance to tell him who I was and confess my feelings for him.
You confessed your feelings to my husband?
That's right. And then he said that he liked my passion and invited me to a lovely restaurant with a view of the city. That means that he likes me back. And that's why I am so sorry to say, but the two of us are going to spend one hot night together. As for you, well, you can just enjoy a lonely night at home all by yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about, but my husband is not going to go on any date with you. And I certainly don't think he's said anything to express that he had feelings for you. So I'm still not quite sure why you think that you've successfully stolen him from me. If he even has invited you to dinner, I wouldn't read too much into that.
You really just don't understand anything at all, do you? Why would a man invite someone other than his wife out for dinner? Obviously, it's because he's much more attracted to that woman than he is to his own wife.
Are you serious?
Of course. The only reason a man would go out to eat with a woman who wasn't his wife is if he was trying to have an affair with her. Sure, he might understand that others might see doing something like that as taboo, but the fact that he invited me proves just how much he really likes me. And if he likes me enough to go on a public date with me, then you and him are as good as done. He doesn't like you anymore. We're going to get married, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so just like I stole your boyfriend in high school, now I've stolen your company president husband. So why don't you start crying already, you loser?
The only crying that's happening is out of laughter. My husband and I are both cracking up at these.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that we're laughing so hard that tears are streaming down our faces. It hurts to laugh. Oh man, we were actually laughing so hard I think I pulled something. Now, hold on just one moment. What do you mean your husband is there with you? Of course he is. The office is closed today and he didn't have anything in his schedule book. We just ordered pizza and have been staying at home basically all day. Wait, but then I don't get it. Why is he choosing to have dinner with you and not me? He told me that he was going to take me out to an amazing restaurant with a view of the city. It's only a little longer until the time when he and I were supposed to meet. He's not really going to ditch me, is he?
You really need to wake up and live in reality with the rest of us. I never once said that I was going out to dinner with you.
Wait a second, is this Mr. Masterson?
That's right. And I must say I was blown away by our interaction in the elevator. I mean, you basically cornered me and refused to let me off until I agreed to what you were saying. You forced me to ask you out to dinner, but I was never actually going to go through with that.
Wait a second, I don't get it. I thought you were asking me out because you liked me.
I only asked you out because I wanted to get off that damn elevator. I had a very important conference call that I was trying to make and I wasn't going to let you hold me up.
But, I mean, this can't be right.
It wasn't right. I don't even remember what time I said we'd meet or where.
That can't be right. You said that you were going to meet me in an hour.
Well, okay then. Wait an hour and see if I show up anywhere. Just don't be surprised if your boss shows up instead of me.
My boss? What are you talking about? Why would he be there?
I know that I said that I would think of a place with a good view of the city, but I certainly didn't say I'd make a reservation. Anyways, the place I had in mind was your boss's office. He has quite a good view of the city at night, right?
My boss's office? What are you talking about? Wait a second. My boss's car just pulled up. What the heck is going on here? I thought that you were obsessed with me, and that's why you wanted to go out on a date with me, right? I thought that you were trading Iris in for me.
Why in the world would I ever want to be with someone like you? You spam my email with all kinds of crazy messages and corner me in the elevator in my own company. You can bet that I showed your boss all those emails and the security footage of the elevator. He's the one who suggested speaking with you.
Did he really say that? Why would you do this to me?
I was willing to overlook the emails, to be honest with you, but I didn't think that you would actually try and confront me face to face. And I figured that if I was going to be dealing with someone willing to do that I would need to bring in some extra support.
So that's why you went and told my boss about what I was doing? I thought that we were going to keep our love private at first. How could you go and get my boss involved in what's supposed to be between you and I?
You still just don't get it at all, do you? I'm the president of a company that is very important to the survival of your company. Did you really think anything positive was going to come out of harassing me like you did?
But, I mean, I didn't think I was harassing you.
If you really didn't think that was harassment, then you're only making me feel better about involving your boss. In fact, we were going to try and handle this during work hours, but I told him about the business with the elevator and fake date, and he agreed to talk to you now.
This can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to go this way. Please, you have to help me. Can't we just calm down and talk about this? Oh, surely you must see how much prettier I am than Iris, right? I am much more suited to be the wife of the company president.
If anyone needs to calm down and think things through, it's you. Besides, why would I want to be with you again after all this time?
Be with me again? What are you talking about?
You really don't remember? We used to date in high school. We had actually been dating about a year before you left me. In fact, I remember the day that you left me because it was actually the day that you told me you were with Iris's ex-boyfriend. Well, anyways, it turns out that Iris and I were in some after-school clubs together, and that experience helped push us closer.
Wait a second. You mean you're Zeke from high school?
Ding, ding, ding. I had actually completely forgotten about you until Iris brought you up. It took a while for it all to come back to me, but if you thought that someone like you could ever replace Iris, you're crazy. I mean, do you really think that adults act like that? We're not in school anymore. You need to realize that.
But what's going on? I had no idea that you owned your own company. You're so different than how you used to be.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that people change over time. I'd like to think that most people improve, but you show me it's possible for people to only get worse as well. Anyways, I don't want to keep your boss waiting any longer than he needs to. And while you deal with whatever consequences he sought up for you, I'm going to enjoy a lovely, quiet night in with my wife. Have a nice life, Kelly.
After that, Zeke was informed by Iris's boss that after their discussion, he had decided to let her go. What happened next really shocked me. It turns out that Iris was actually carrying on an affair with her boss and that his wife was quite suspicious. The wife hired a PI to uncover more about her husband's affair and found out about him and Kelly. Then she sued the both of them for their affair. Meanwhile, more of Iris's affairs came to light and lawsuits from upset spouses began to pour in. In the end, Kelly was buried in legal debts that she couldn't afford and lacked the income to pay them off. She quickly started working some part-time jobs and moved into a tiny apartment where she can afford to make payments on her debts. Kelly thought that as an adult, she could act the way she did when she was nothing but a high school bully. She may have even gotten away with it for a little, but her luck was bound to run out. Ever since then, Kelly's been too busy to ever try and bother us again. But that works out just fine for Zeke and I. We couldn't be happier.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.